Alright, boys, what's happening?
Good evening.
Hello.
All good, mate.
The world's back to normal, innit? Hearts back where they belong. I was going to say back with a bang, but let's discuss it. Let's discuss how much of a bang it is. But aye, all feels good. All feels good in the world. What's been happening, Tam? You all good?
Aye, not much. Just a quiet weekend, to be honest. Didn't catch a game yesterday. Well, caught on the telly.
Your game was off, wasn't it, though? Your game was off. Levy's frozen pitch, wasn't it?
Aye, all weather pitch. Not working
Aye,
in any
shambles,
weather.
man, innit?
Oh, God.
Classic.
Fucking Tony Macaroni. Bulldoze it, man. Kev, what's been happening?
Is that
Not a great deal, mate.
Aye, that's it. Well
Cool.
done. Thanks for coming, Tam. Right, sure.
As I was saying, not a great deal. Caught the game yesterday and was out last night for Christmas night out. What? Stoke 1 of 3. So, yep, all good, mate.
Ando?
Oh, it's been an interesting week. Normally I come with nothing, but I was travelling the length and breadth of the country for work during the week. And in the time of since I've been back, I managed to chop the top of my finger off and have a fight with the neighbours over a car parking space. It's been fucking brilliant. I've loved every minute of it.
Cunt kicked in by a 98-year-old.
No, not quite. Me threatening a
A 98-year-old.
a 30-something-year-old lad who isn't aware of the rules. But let's cover that in an extra extended special Patreon episode.
Aye. Oh, good.
Well, it's been good, man. I've enjoyed myself.
Nice. Right. Well, obviously, we'll do live to YouTube so that we can get interaction from everybody. Today's results, yesterday's results, etc., etc. It's painting a pretty picture for Hearts currently as we head into what will be probably season-defining December. We got a tough run, but yesterday was earmarked as a tough fixture. Managed to pick up 3 points. So, Tam, you'll keep us up to date with everything that's happening on the YouTube channel for us.
Absolutely.
Cool. We've got Ando's got a Tamdown. Then Tam's going to give us his top 10. Then we'll go through headlines. We will talk about the fact that Hearts are third. How did we get there? How did we stay there, etc. Have a look a bit. I don't know why we've been so ingrained in everything Heart of Midlothian that I only really pay attention to. At one point, I was counting how close to the bottom of the league we were, and missed the fact that actually we talk about how you split the Old Firm. We've got ambitions. We say to win the leagues and all that sort of stuff. And we have to talk about striking when the iron's hot and capitalising on opportunities. I look at the league right now. Got our home form. If we're taking care of our home form, just realistically, how close to Rangers we actually probably should be, and that's before you even talk about budgets and all that sort of stuff. You just have to take care of your own business. So we'll have a wee look at the league. It's pretty tight. It's quite exciting right now. Then, well, we're just having a weekly segment on this now. We have to discuss VR again as another pretty shambolic showing at the weekend. Not just in the Hearts games, but right across Scottish football as well, so we'll discuss that. And then we've got a big week of games. We host Rangers on Wednesday, and then we're away to Aberdeen on the Saturday, so we'll discuss those games. And that's pretty much everything. Sound good, boys?
Sure does.
Absolutely.
Sound deal. Anything on YouTube, Tam, worth mentioning or talking about so far?
First question, I've already been called out and said that I better read this. So I imagine you've already read it yourself. So, but it does say, can someone explain how it feels like we're having a disaster of a season and we're sitting third? We could have been second if we hadn't lost to Motherwell, St Mirren, and then choked a 1-0 lead at Rangers. And that's for beats.
Yep. I know it is very, very strange. I think it's more to do with the fact that I don't want to say the league's shite because we're part of the league, and I'm not a big believer in beating the league down, etc., etc. You can only piss with the cock you've got and all that stuff. But this season in particular, I am actually, it's incredible that we are third, given the standard of the teams that we've played against. I don't know if I've been blown away or impressed with any of them. From being, and that Hearts are in that bracket as well. You know, I've yet to be blown away and impressed by Hearts as well. Rangers don't look great. Celtic were lacklustre, although in second gear and smashed us. But God knows, God knows. But we'll talk about that.
I was
Right.
thinking about it as well. Has there been a specific game this season where you've even thought we've been at our best? I don't think there's one for me.
Rosenborg in phases.
Yeah.
I thought we played pretty well against Rosenborg. We've been, but it's Hearts, isn't it? How many times have we spoken about it on here? Stringing 2 back-to-back 45 minutes. It's really difficult right now. But in phases, I thought Motherwell away, genuinely, I thought we were impressive. I thought we played really well. And for the opening quarter, 20 odd minutes of the game yesterday, I thought we were very, very, very well set up, in control, creating chances. And I don't know if it was the length of time it took to get Boyce to come off, the fact that we had a bit of a scare with Benny to begin with, and then Boyce and the injury, and knowing that it wasn't just a contact injury, it was a muscular injury, so we will be without Liam Boyce for a while, and I don't know if that impacted the team, or if it was just a crazy decision to bring on a right wing back when we have Tagawa sitting there that can play the exact same role that Boyce was, or Lowry could come on and play those positions. I don't know if that what it was. So, no, there hasn't been any 90 minutes where I've been like, whoa, that was superb. Hopefully they're coming. Hopefully Wednesday and Saturday we can talk about the complete 90 minutes. Cool, right. Do a Tamdown first, Ando. You've got a Tamdown for us.
I do, and this...
Get the comments off, Tam, after last week's Steward's inquiry where suddenly you were joint top.
It's all right. I've got the...
To be honest, I've only got one screen tonight, so I can't cheat.
Actually,
So
I
you
can
can't
probably
cheat.
turn
Okay.
off the comments for the duration of this.
That's
If
all right. To be fair, half the players that get shouted out, Tam doesn't even know.
Well,
You could literally put any names in there and he would say
this
it.
one's topical, right? So our victory yesterday, I think, is the 4th league victory on the bounce. Then I'm taking us back to the last time we had 5 league victories on the bounce, right? So looking ahead to Rangers, the last time it happened was in the 2018-2019 season. Craig Levine was manager, and Tam, you can see you're nodding your head there. You think, yes, I've got a fucking chance here. I'm not going to give you the exact date or the game because that might just give it away. But I can tell you it was in the 2018-2019 season, and it was in the September of that season, and I'll tell you the game afterwards. So you've got the rough time frame. September 2018 is the game, and because Tam probably has a clue here, you're going to be going last, mate. So Corbett, you're first. On you go.
Uche
Ekpiezo, he was in the starting 11, correct. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give a bonus point if anyone names a goal scorer.
Uche.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I've got the game. They've got the game before it then.
Kev, you're next.
Zlamal.
Bobby Zlamal was the keeper, correct. Tam.
Naismith.
Stephen Naismith, yes. And Tam gets a bonus point because he scored in that game. So Tam's straight into the lead.
Did they score a hat-trick in that game?
No, it was a 1-0 victory, so there's Tam's got the only bonus point of
So there's only 1 point.
Yeah, only 1 point. Aaron Hughes.
Aaron Hughes is not involved. No, he wasn't there. Kev.
Peter Haring.
Haring, yes, he was. He was in the starting 11. Tam.
Better.
Berra, no, not involved. Corbett.
Sean Clare.
Sean Clare was also not involved in that game. Kev.
Suter? John Suter.
John Suter, absolutely. Yep, he was there in the starting 11. Tam, what about you?
Jamie Brandon.
Jamie Brandon, no, not involved at all. Back to you, Corbett.
Dikamona.
Dikamona was a used substitute. He came on. So, Kev, over to you.
June.
Arnold Jim, yep, he was in the starting 11. Tam.
Milinkovic.
Skinny Milinkovic, no, he wasn't involved.
I'm dead class today. Thanks for that bonus point. I might just.
Mikey Smith.
Mikey Smith, yep,
good
of course he was. He was there. Kev, over to you.
Ollie Lee.
Ollie Lee, yep,
Caesar?
he was in the starting 11. Well done. Tam?
Played left back.
I've wiped this season from my mind. I can't think.
This is your first season watching Hearts. How can you have wiped it for your mind? It should be front and centre. Dead air is a crime, Tam. Hurry up.
I know. Jamie Walker. He wasn't even back at that point, was he?
No, he wasn't involved. No. Over to you, Corbett.
Ben Garuccio.
Ben Garuccio was an unused substitute. Correct. Kev.
Who was the left back then?
That's what I think. I might have it. Was it?
I've gave up the game. That's opened the gateway to hundreds of shite players.
Aye, exactly. Talking about shite players, did Dimitri Mitchell play left back?
Oh, there he is. Well done. Right. Correct. Tam, over to you.
I don't know if well done's the right thing.
No, but well done. It's like you correctly identified the gap and plugged it.
In preparation for my top 10, and I actually looked at squads for 2000, and I completely patched this one because I was like, they were all shite. And there was Sam Nicholson.
No, he wasn't there. I'm not your bird, Tam. Stop making excuses. Corbett, over to you.
Doyle, the goalkeeper.
Colin Doyle was correct. He was the substitute goalie. Kev.
Was Corbett's favourite player
Which
in
one?
the team? Stephen McLean.
Stephen McLean was a used substitute. Well done. Yes. Tam.
Or his other favourite player, Don Cowie.
Don Cowie was not involved.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How many players have we got left?
We've got 2 outfield players, and you have 3 substitutes still to get, so 5 to play for. And it's your call.
So we definitely haven't said the left back yet. So we need to try and figure out who the left back was.
It was Mitchell.
Oh, what was it, Mitchell?
Yeah, it was
He
Mitchell.
played left back.
Yeah.
So we've not got any wingers, have we?
Well, I'll tell you who you've got so far, right? And I don't normally do this, but you've Bobby Zlamal, Mikey Smith, Demi Mitchell, John Suter, Peter Haring, Arnold Jim, Ollie Lee, Uche, Naismith. Then there's 2 missing from the starting 11. And in terms of
Kyle Lafferty.
Kyle Lafferty, no, is not there.
Not there. Must have been injured or something. Is that when? Because we started to get hundreds of injuries, wasn't it? Because it fell apart by the time we played Celtic.
It was just getting to the end of the summer and the wheels came off it.
Oh wait, I went fucking mental at somebody shite at Murrayfield. Was it Mitchell?
I think it might have the person that you also.
I also think the guy that came on for
well, it's Kev's turn next. So
yeah, you can have him. I just gave you it.
Jake AirPods Mulroney.
Jake Mulroney was an unused substitute in that game.
Oh right, I thought he would have played that.
No, so you got 2 players left in the starting 11, and you've got 2 on the bench. Tam, it is back to you, and just a rundown on the scores so far. Kevin the lead on 8, Corbett second on 5, and Tam you're on 2, but it's really only 1 because I gave you a bonus point that you didn't even really try for.
And I got our current gaffer as the answer, so I'm doing really well.
Tam.
I think who was involved was Corbett. I'm probably going to give you a tap in here. But the boy came on for Naismith in the semi. It was maybe that wonder kid, Rapid. You had a song for him, Corbett, and he was shy. So, aye,
It's
and it was
interesting. I can't think who that would be.
Oh, aye.
It just passed me though. I'm just going to say,
Tam, you're chapping. In the interest of everyone's sanity, we're going to move it on.
The player that came on for him was Danny Amawanker.
Oh, he wasn't involved.
That wasn't my guess. That was.
No,
that was for me. That was
just banter. That's fine.
Oh, who the fuck was my? I was actually going to say something. Hey, did Jimmy Dunn play for us?
Yes, he did. Well done. Corbett's back in the hunt. Kev, one outfield player still to get. I always say outfield, one of the starting 11 and 2 subs still to get.
Who else would have played that day? What was that boy? He couldn't cross his scoop.
Runners in on me.
Couldn't name anybody.
Callum Morrison.
Callum Morrison, correct. He was the final player in the starting 11. Right, so Kev's 1 because there's only 2 players left. So Kev, you're on 9, Corbett 6, Tam 1.5, let's say. But Tam, there's 2 players left. A used substitute and an unused substitute. And I'm even going to give you a clue here. One of them, one of them might have made his way into a show name. I can't stand all this dead air. Anyone listening back is just going to think, what the fuck is going on? There's been a power failure.
Bizid.
Eh?
Ismail Bizid.
No, absolutely not.
Came back for one game only. The age of 47.
My guess was Conor Randall though. Was he that season?
No, think about Shanks and his lunacy, and how he can't pronounce anyone's name properly. Right. Anyway, Corbett, we're moving on to you.
But if Ben Garuccio was Oli Bazanic there?
Correct. Yes. And there's 1 player left to get, and it's a Shanks special because he could never say his name right. Kev, who is it?
Hey. On you go, Kev. You have the honours.
Craig Whiting.
Craig Wigton, that's correct.
Right. Old Wigton.
Right, so well done. Kev, you win on 10 points. Corbett on 7.
Unusual.
And Tam, I'm taking away your bonus point because you were pish. So you only get 1.
Do I have it in this book? Craig Whiting reminds me of that very season because we had the opportunity to sign both Lauren Shankland and Kevin Nisbet.
Mm-hmm. And we went with Wigton.
At that time.
Sure.
And we signed Wigton instead.
Aye.
Fan-fucking-tastic. I was happy till that.
There you go. And for all the geeks out there that wanted to know, it was a 1-0 win away at Motherwell on the 15th of September 2018. So that was the game in question. So well done, Kev. Congratulations. The crown passes to you for the week.
7 days. 7 games.
So Tam, lips moving, still talking. Right, so say that again.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Was it 7 games we went unbeaten at the start of the season?
5.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And then we went to
Draw.
Murrayfield. Aye, we drew, aye.
Oh.
Right.
Then we got scudded at Murrayfield, and then I think we drew 0-0 with Hibs at home directly after it. We signed Sean Clare as a striker, played him as a right winger, and eventually finished his career at Hearts playing right back. I don't know if that sums up anything as much as what it did. Peter Haring scored the winner. It was supposed to be offside or whatever, and Neil Lennon got absolute poleaxed by a 50 pence on his puffer jacket.
Amazing.
Remember?
Aye. When are Netflix going to pick up Hearts as a sitcom, by the way?
Yeah,
because it's good to be in the works. It has to be in the works.
Remember, I can't remember what we were on, but they had some Hibs guy on it for balance or something, and I think he said, "Oh, well done on." It must have been last season at some point because he said, "Oh, well done on winning the 4th placed cup or something like that." And I said, "That's funny." I was like, "The last time you won the 4th place cup, your manager turned into a fucking aeroplane and went missing for a week." I was like, fucking come for us. You used to have a parade for finishing 4th, you dafties.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, right, cool. Well done, Kev. And thanks to everybody for upsetting me and reminding me that we had the opportunity to sign our first 20-goal a season striker. We could have signed him 6 years ago, but went with Craig Whiting. Where's Craig White in now? Are you working in a chippy or something?
I think does he drive the team bus for Dunfermline? I think.
I don't know. He'll probably work something like that. Herbalife. And he's Sammy the Tammy or whatever the mascot is at Dunfermline.
That's Big Rab. He'll know.
Nah, he'll know exactly. Right, let's keep the comedy going. We started a few weeks ago saying that we would give our sort of top 10. It was to coincide with Lauren Shankland, obviously. Again, got double figures for a season, etc. Looks like he's well on his road to getting 20 again in a season if we can keep a hold of him. And it got us thinking who are the best players in sort of the modern era type thing, for 2000s onwards, or if it's in our lifetime, as long as we're not going back to Kev's day, etc., etc. So, Tam, we had Kev's last week, and now we've got Tam's this week. So, it doesn't have to be in order, Tam. Just go through them, and then we'll jump in if there's any shockers or any surprise inclusions, exclusions, etc.
Said, I've kind of done it in order, to be fair, so I'll just start for 10th. The 50-year-old, 25-year-old guy, Larry Kingston. Loved him.
He's still kicking about somewhere saying he's 35.
Absolutely. Then I've got Mikey Smith. Unfortunately for him, he just played for a load of shite Hearts teams, but I like them.
I also like Mikey Smith.
Yep. Templeton, purely that Liverpool goal, and just he was class as well. Then
the
I've got
Liverpool
purely as a
goal
player,
over the absolute unbelievable solo run at Easter Road.
The Easter Road goal as well. Absolutely. That's probably the best goal we've seen at Easter Road in this time scale, maybe, except fucking Ozturk. I should stop talking.
And Ollie Lee, Bozanic into the top bag as well. Gordon Shankland's last season was pretty decent. But
solo dribble with the ball then, right? Okay, cool.
So, okay.
Purely as a player, I'll go Stephen A. Smith. Next.
You fucking try to win.
Right. But to answer whoever it is in the chat, Davy Smith, any chance you can mute Tam, please, Ando? Yes, I'll find the fucking mute button after that shit. Right.
What's wrong with Stephen A. Smith? He was class.
Keep going.
Right, Zalukas. Easy.
That head, not that just because of the world of YouTube. Me shaking my head was at Stephen A. Smith, not Zach Lucas.
Okay. Of course.
For all the Hearts dads, what I fucking burn my house down. Fred on kickback as we speak.
Then we've got Shankland in top 5 with Mark De Vries, Craig Gordon, Paul Hartley, Rudy Scatchell.
Cool. And then we said we're going to do God tier, didn't we? I think Craig Gordon pretty much, we'll put him in God tier already. I think he belongs in God tier, and then we can make arguments for the rest of them. No surprise.
Sorry, who was your last few? You had Lawrence Shankland, De Vries, Hartley, Scatchell, Gordon, and who else?
That's 5.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's 10, top 10. My apologies. Cool.
Love Graham Duffy's comment. Has anyone told Tam November is over?
Mate, that's his November for last year.
Still
my brick, man. He's trying his best.
So you all agree with my top 10 class?
No, I don't think I do.
No.
Where does this myth about Stephen Naismith come from? Genuinely, I'm not just trying to win. What he did literally nothing in a Hearts jersey other than moan like hell.
I've written down exactly the same thing, right? Now, there's 2 that have got questionable, double question marks. Sorry, Naismith's got double question marks next to his name. One other player has a single question mark next to his name. But let's Naismith, double question mark for me.
What was your rationale, Tam?
That season we were talking about, I think we would have done pretty decent if he'd not got injured, first of all, 2018. The first season he was on loan. I think he scored, 15 in 30 games or something? 14, maybe. But I just thought he was the best player in a poor Hearts side for a long time. And yeah, I like the fact that he shouted on the pitch and was an angry bastard.
Okay.
That does it for me.
Well, that's fine. It's your list. We'll all have our own lists. So
well, but
that's fine.
What about the fact that when he was on the park, everything had to go through him, and he slowed it down to a fucking snail's pace?
I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay, that's fine.
What about Kyle Lafferty? 19 goals, one season.
He is in my honourable mentions, to be fair.
Scored against Aberdeen, Hibs, Celtic,
19 in one
Rangers.
season. I just never forgive him for leaving, to be honest. But when your boyhood team comes calling. But
He did everything he was asked to do. He was told to come in, have a good season, bang the goals in, you get a move to Rangers.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So, but anyway, sure list. You can't have it right or wrong.
I'm also taking exception with Kingston. Right, good but not great.
I love Kingston, man. I thought he was class.
Good but not great.
Nah,
He gave us some real funny moments that I love.
Fair enough. But
Called the
top
referee
10?
a racist and he had a black wife. That will always tickle me.
That's right, I forgot about that.
That will always tickle me.
Never
He took
forget
a swing. I like folk that take a swing and a miss. I like it. Fair play to him. He tried. He got made to look an arse. I enjoy it. So, fair play.
He did just like fuck off for a bit at the end as well. You're talking about Neil Lennon going missing. He did just go missing, didn't he?
Aye, well, it was Hearts under Vladimir Romanov at that
True.
minute. It was just, you do whatever you want. You go wherever you want. Right.
Went hiding in Ghana.
Cool. Me or Ando next week? Would you fancy, Ando? You, or do you want me to have a shot?
I don't mind. So rather than have me talking for too fucking long, someone else put their hand up to do a Tamdown for next week. I'll quite happily do
I do
mine.
want to finish last. So
Fair enough.
It's funny when you do it, when you play and go last. So I'll do one for next week, just to piss you off, Tam.
okay, then.
All right, cool. I'll do the week after.
Cool. Right. Let's go through our headlines. Yesterday's 1-0 victory away at Kilmarnock moved Hearts after today's results. Well, yesterday it put us in third, but after today's all fixtures are all done, we end the weekend sitting third. We're a point above St Mirren. We're 2 points in front of Hibs. We are 10 points in front of Aberdeen. We have a game in hand, I think, and all of the teams below us, I think, don't we?
Yes.
I'm sort of informed that the game in hand's against Dundee at home.
It is.
Apparently.
It is.
Yeah.
Why is that happened? How are we at an
It was
imbalance?
due to take place the weekend that we got beat off Rangers in the semi.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
it's a reorganised fixture for that.
When is it? Do we know?
It's not until February.
January.
Oh, February.
Yeah, it's been moved to
That's
February.
fucking handy, innit?
Yeah.
That's handy. Play our game in hand in February. That'll really put pressure on everybody around about us.
Actually, shit, Kev might be right. It might. I want to say, right, and this is just the fucking most Hearts thing ever. I'm pretty sure I looked at this. We might be playing that game before everybody else comes back. Yeah, we are. We're playing it on Tuesday, the 23rd of January, before everybody else comes back from winter break.
Play Dundee twice in 10 days.
Yep.
Class.
Yeah.
Both at him.
I
Home anyway.
don't know about the next one, but
Right,
Home to
well,
Dundee, home to Aberdeen, away to Dundee.
there you go.
so we're sitting third. How is my question. Kev, I'm going to go to the toilet. I'm going to leave you waffling so that when I come back, I can pick it up and talk some sense. Right? So you tell everybody why we're third, and then I'll come back and correct you.
This is amazing. This is
The funny thing,
like, you ever had that bit in a plane where the pilot just steps out the cockpit and goes, right, I've left the autopilot on. It might crash and burn, but we'll see what happens. Kev, you're the autopilot. Go.
I am autopilot. I mean, I think the simple and easy way to answer the side's question is I have no fucking idea how it's happened. We've all said it for weeks upon weeks that we're effectively scraping results. We're not playing great football. Imagine if we were able to play good football and pass, make 3-4 passes together. But that is, I mean, it was going to have to be a pretty short piss as far as Corbett's concerned, because there's nothing actually able to answer that. I don't think anybody can answer it.
So, I mean, part of it for me is it's difficult. It's a difficult one to tell. I don't know if the overall standard of the league has went down or if it's went up. Right. So, like, the two schools of thought in that. If the standard of the league has went up, then everyone's like a little bit more competitive and cannibalising points off each other. Or it could just be the fact that everyone is shite now and can't beat each other. Sorry,
I've
Corb
got a
is
reason.
back. Okay, Tam, go.
Go.
I think because we've managed to be a bit more tight defensively than any other
Well,
team out with the Old Firm.
Got it written down. That's someone's been looking at the form guide. I think or been listening to Heart Standard or whatever it is that we did. Yep, I think how many times last year did we sit in here tearing our hair out because we watched Hearts concede the same goal on repeat? Do you know what I mean? Whether it be
Every game,
against Fiorentina at Istanbul, whether it be the goal Ross County scored the first game of the season that sort of set the tone. The Zurich goals, they're all the exact same goal. Either a long ball over the top that we couldn't deal with, or balls into the box that we didn't deal with. And again, you're trying to fight with one hand tied behind your back with you're a goal down. Do you know what I mean? It becomes really difficult. So we've got much better defensively. And yesterday we'll talk about it when we come to the actual game. But how many times did we go to Motherwell, St Johnstone, Kilmarnock? They came to Tynecastle, and we seemed completely and utterly surprised that the way they played. Even though everybody that was a Hearts fan an hour before kickoff could have told you and painted the picture exactly how Kilmarnock, St Johnstone, Motherwell, all these teams are going to play. But now, like yesterday, Kilmarnock played exactly how I imagined Kilmarnock would play. But we dealt with it. We managed to deal with it, and we looked comfortable dealing with it. I really think they only had one gilt-edged chance, and it was directly after we scored. And then the rest of it was just exactly what you'd expect for Kilmarnock. Second was ricochets, chaos in the box, long throw-in, set plays, corners, knockdowns, because the ball bounces so weird on a plastic pitch that it's difficult. It's really difficult to know where the ball's going to go, how to control it, how to take a second touch. And Kilmarnock play full advantage, or try to take full advantage of that. So I think Hearts played there. Ando, you just made a good point there that I think is really important about the next run of games, is that they're all 6-pointers. Because it's not just about us trying to win the 3 points, it's us being able to get 3 points, but also take 3 points away from Aberdeen, from Hibs, from St Mirren. And we did it yesterday to Kilmarnock. I think Kilmarnock are now, 6 points behind us? We have a game in hand, so we didn't just gain 3 points, we took 3 points off of them. So the Celtic and Rangers games will take care of themselves, they always do, but it's the other games that are massively important. We go into the game on Saturday away to Aberdeen. Realistically, we have an opportunity to put 10, 13 points in between us and them. We know that they're not going to be as shite as what they are right now forever, probably. And we can't be too smug, given that last year we shouted through the rooftops and then managed to chuck away a 10-point lead. But I think that's a good point, Tam. I think defensively we've tightened up. We look better. There's positives
something
there.
I will steal. We've
Go.
not lost a set-piece goal this season, which is mental.
Yep. But I know, but I seen that as well, and I get it. But we've conceded from corners. Second phase of corners,
Right,
not clearing the ball, but direct from a corner, cool. But then we've not scored for a direct for a corner. So, in the league anyway, so we've got to talk about that.
I'm sorry, what the fuck does that mean? Is it a penalty? Is that not a set piece?
Enough from a corner, I think.
I was going to say, because trail back a couple of weeks, Tavernier scored with a penalty.
Aye.
Sorry, I'm more meaning like a free kick header or a corner header, which we lost how many times last season?
Loads last season. So I think defensively, definitely done well. I don't think we can kind of discount that we're playing better. Not setting the world on fire, but we are playing better. We look more stable in our shape. You can start to see things take shape. Again, even after yesterday, my only real headache is the right-hand side. It's a problem for us. You can see that. But they're compensating for it. And so far, touch wood, it's not really costing us much. So, Kev, we are third. How do we stay third? Or do you even see us staying third?
I think over the next 6 weeks until it's not even 6 weeks now, is it? It's 4 weeks until the actual winter break. It's massive, and we need to make sure that we pick up the points where we can. That could be going to Aberdeen on Saturday and getting a point at the game. We all know it's God knows how many years since we went to Pittodrie and actually won. Yes, I appreciate that they're not looking brilliant at this moment in time, when they're trying to actually juggle both European football and league football. But getting something out of that game, I think, sets us up for a run where, if we were able to get towards the end of December, getting probably 5 points out of a possible 15, I think you could be looking at giving yourself a good foundation to actually move on into the second part of the season and actually securing third. Because I think, again, like we said a couple of seasons ago, all the other teams are taking points off each other, and if we can just take care of our own home form, then from that side of things, we should be able to actually cement third by mid-March, end of March.
Who do Aberdeen have?
Good question.
Tell you a second.
They'll be at
They've
home.
got Kelly at home.
Right, so they've got back-to-back home games versus Kelly and us.
Yep.
And
then,
it's Hibs at Celtic
then,
Park, and we're at Tynecastle with Rangers.
Yep.
Right.
What are St Mirren?
St Mirren are away to St Johnson on
Johnstone.
Wednesday, then they're at home to Ross County on the Saturday, and then on the 16th they are at home in Motherwell.
Right, okay. So like I said, we've got an opportunity to cannibalise the teams round about us by taking points off them. I think, like I said, we've said it before, and there'll be no Hearts fan out there that's thinking any different. The run in December for me is crucial. It will really set the tone. It's weird that I don't know if we're building confidence, if that's the right thing, or because we're not playing with swagger or that. We were the first 20 minutes on Saturday. We actually played with a bit of swagger, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Tam on Wednesday is seeing if we can actually go out with a bit of swagger against Rangers and see if we can give them a game.
Aye, absolutely. It's that fine line though. I know Rangers are they seem to have been hit a wee bump since we last played them, to be honest. And I think when we're at home, we should really go for it and really play our game. But it's the problem Nielsen have, that he would either complicate it too much, go for it, lose by 3 or 4, or sit right in and do it. So it'll be interesting to see how we play it. But I think we need to go and play our game and try and take the game to them, especially under the lights of Tynecastle, to be honest.
Aye, there's actual Nielsen's problem that he had against the Old Firm was that he never sat in. He was always way too open and way too trying to play our game. And remember I think we play 4-2-4 or something last year in a Wednesday night game, and we were
Greg Cool centre mid or something.
We were like 2-0 down within like 20 minutes or something, and we should have been 3-0 down. Remember they scored about 5 goals that VAR chopped off. We were all over the shop. But I think, Ando, we talked about it a bit in the community chat today, and we said it there in the intro when we were setting up what we're going to talk about. But we've been so hit or miss with Hearts, that I've been so focused on Hearts and only Hearts, that it's actually mental how closer we should have been to Rangers than we are right now.
Yeah, aye. As you say, you covered it in the group chat quite well earlier on, and good segue. The link for the group chat will be in the description for this. But without going over old ground, you're absolutely right. It feels like a massive, massive opportunity missed. If you add up the sum of all the little bits that we could have potentially got, then I know we're talking about if you're anti-Hud Boz kind of mentality, right enough. Right. But it is one of those that it feels like a massive opportunity missed, and that we almost by default are in third just now, not because we're playing spectacularly well. And just to go back to something that Tam said, where you were talking about play our game on Wednesday against Rangers. I'm not trying to put you in the spot, and I'm not coming after you, but what does that even mean? Right? I don't even know what Hearts' game is just now. Like I don't see, like, a lot of different patterns of play from us or whatever. Like, again, as I'm not coming after you, but I don't know what Hearts' game is just now. So to play,
no, it's a fair point.
To play our game against Rangers on Wednesday, not even entirely sure what that means. I think for the last few weeks it feels almost like turn up, hope for the best, and we've managed to grind out results. And that just speaks to everything that you've just been speaking about, which is how have we ended up in third place? Don't know.
I think Hearts have been better. I wouldn't say decent. That's not right. But Hearts have been, yeah. But you go through them again. Livingston 1-0, but it was 6-0. We absolutely battered them. You look at Motherwell away. I thought we played really, really well. 2 shocking penalty decisions that you're looking at opportunities to score plus potential guys going down to 10 men and all that sort of stuff as well. You're looking at St Johnstone, same again. You know, you're 1-0 up, you should have a penalty, you don't get the penalty. That changes the game. And even yesterday, the goalkeeper goes, it changes the game. They have to take an outfield player off to bring a goalkeeper on. They're down to 10 anyway. They have to change everything that they play and how they set up. So there's been little nuances in each game. But I think when we say play our game on Wednesday, I think we have to be structured. Don't change the formula that's been working. Even if we get beat, just stick to the players that have been playing how they are. Rangers coming to Tynecastle and winning because they're better than us, everybody will accept. But like we just spoke about there, Rangers, I think actually the last time when we played that 4-2-4, we were like 9 unbeaten or something in the league. We played Rangers, we went 4-2-4, crazy, and we were battered within the first 20 minutes. You want to go and keep it tight, play to our strengths, try and get the ball out wide, try and get the guys on the ball, try and get the ball into Shankland as much as we can, etc. But you spoke about it there, Ando, opportunities missed. We've had Rangers have went to the lowest league in Scotland, and it coincided with the fact that we were a financial mess and dropped out the league. It also coincided with the fact that Hibs, Terry butchered it, and they also dropped out the league as well. And then, Aberdeen couldn't capitalise on Celtic having Ronnie Dyler. And then when Rangers made it finally back up to the top league, Celtic appointed Brendan Rodgers, and it changed everything. There are wee tiny nuances in Scottish football that you have to strike, you have to take advantage of that. You look there, we spoke about there. I know all the anti-HUD boss stuff is mad, but when you actually boil it down, you look and say, well, take away all the crazy stuff about the shouldn't have conceded a penalty and if it held on at Ibrox and all that sort of stuff. Take all that out the equation. Up until April of this year, I don't think Hearts had lost in the league to anybody outside the Old Firm since Dundee beat us. And then St Mirren came in and put the final nail in Robbie Nielsen's coffin or whatever. So it's not unrealistic to say that Hearts shouldn't have lost to Motherwell at Tynecastle. That Hearts shouldn't have drew 0-0 with Kilmarnock. That Hearts shouldn't have been 2-0 up against Hibs and drew 2 each. You fix them, that's 7 points, puts us on 30 points. You're a point behind Rangers right now before you even have to start talking about, if we didn't have Peter Haring didn't get penalised, if we'd managed to hold out even longer, if Xander Clark hadn't made a total Ricky Hunt at St Mirren, etc. If Denham hadn't done it at Dens Park, just take care of our home form. You don't get these opportunities. Forget about budgets, forget about all that. First and foremost, you have to do the business with what's in front. If we'd taken care of our own business and taking care of just our home games, forget about even losing to Celtic and Rangers, just taking care of our home games alone, we would have been 7 points closer to Rangers right now. And then you look at that league, that's 9 points in front of Hibs. It'd been 8 points in front of St Mirren. Would be 17 points in front of Aberdeen. That's all. Like Kev said there, season's almost done. Do you know what I mean? You then just have to just take care of the games that are there. So it's a crazy league.
Totally get it, because you've got the intangibles that are attached to that as well. So for example, at any point, obviously you're talking about all those points that you could have bought back if you if you had done things properly. And it's not fanciful to think that we could have got better results out of them. But if at any point that you end up above Rangers in that's a massive psychological thing as well. Especially with all the flux that they've been through in the last couple of months as well. So you just think it is a massive, massive opportunity that's been missed. But
it is.
It's all water under the fridge.
Exactly, it's all water under the fridge, as Gary O'Connor would say. Cool. Well, let's say Wednesday. Let's see what happens. We'll preview Wednesday and the Aberdeen game as it comes up, as it's a pretty big week for Hearts. Tam, again, let's say it seems to be a running segment on the podcast now. We'll have to discuss the VAR decision again. Could anybody fathom or break down and explain the sequence of events that led to the goalkeeper being yellow carded on Saturday?
First of all, if he's booking him. Oh yeah, no, sorry, I was going to say something stupid, but VAR when they intervene if it was a yellow, right? They wouldn't rescind that or something. What I think's if that happens anywhere else, it's a red card for me because the studs are up. He's not going anywhere near the ball. I just don't understand it, man. I'm struggling with words because I'm actually just stumped. It's becoming ridiculous now. How many weeks in a row have we spoke about it? 4
since the
5,
semi-final. And
where?
So I don't know if you watched it on the telly. I don't know if it come through on the telly, if they spoke about it. But they announced 2 VAR announcements when that happened. So when the challenge happened, I think they gave the throw-in to Hearts. The referee never gave it as a foul, and the ref never blew for offside or whatever. I think the ball went out for a throw-in, which is why the game stopped. The referee booked the goalkeeper. Then we had VAR is checking serious foul play.
Right.
And then VAR complete check, no decision or whatever. Then 30 seconds later, VAR are checking serious foul play. And I was like, what the fuck are they checking? At first I thought, must be the goalkeeper. And then I thought Oda's maybe caught him. So they're now looking to see if it's Oda. And I think Oya restarts with Kilmarnock having a free kick.
For the offside. Aye.
Banana, Kev, I couldn't, I don't even know how to explain it anymore.
So when I watched the game back, it looks like I thought that the first check was to identify whether it was offside or not. And that was then, there was a second check for serious foul play. Now, I went onto FIFA's website and everything else to try and read the VAR rules. I can't find it anywhere at all at the moment. But it was all around, even though the offside, and that stops play, if there is serious foul play after that point, it still has to be reviewed. Now, if that is the case, how on earth can the actual referee himself, the person in the VAR room, and it's not just one person, it's usually 2 or 3 people in the VAR room that are watching the game, how can any of them actually come up with the idea that it's just a yellow card?
So they never stopped the game for offside. The ref.
But that's what I'm saying.
The ref stopped the game for a foul.
Well, I thought that because the ball went out for the throw-in, whether it was our throw-in or their throw-in, but because the ball has gone out of play, that's when they actually checked to see if it was offside, and then the serious foul play thereafter.
The linesman done that thing.
Again, it comes back to communication.
All right.
So the linesman done that thing where they waited.
All right.
After
so
play
there's
finished
actually the 2 announcements were, the first announcement I've just remembered was VAR check, potential red card. That was the first announcement. Then it says check over. That was it. Then 30 seconds it said VAR check, potential serious foul play. And I was like, what? So that's why I was like, so who the fuck? So what, are they checking Oda now? Because the first announcement was potential red card. Then the second one was potential serious foul play. And I was like, what is that? What is even going on? And then watch the replays. So the referee gives the foul. So again, we're back to the boys' territory. what did he think happened? So if he's seen a foul, right, we're not even talking about contact. They're no reviewing it in VAR or getting the referee to go check because he sent the keeper off or whatever. The referee, in his mind, seen whatever the goalkeeper did was worthy of a yellow card. And then, again, I don't understand how in real time you can watch that and think that that is just a yellow card. The goalkeeper is out of his goal. He's not in control. Again, we have to be very clear about what the rules are. The rules are endangering an opponent. You know, it doesn't matter about excessive force. It doesn't matter about winning ball or any of that. That doesn't matter anymore. And that's a different argument, right? That we can argue whether that's right or wrong till we're blue in the face. But the fact is that the referee blew for a foul because he felt whatever the goalkeeper did was a foul. So I don't understand how then the decision is yellow card when Oda wins the ball first, goes by him. There's no one in the goal. So, you know, you're talking about a clear goal scoring opportunity for it to be given as a foul, then a yellow card, then check to see is it supposed to be a red card, and then 30 seconds later check after they've said check complete to say they're now checking it for serious foul play. They fucking not got a clue. They're just making it up. And we're on the stand going,
what's going
what's
on?
happening? What's actually happening here?
Because you'll get it on camera angle. Would Oda have got to the ball had he not been taking it? I don't know if because we never couldn't see that, but from where you were, could you see that?
But again, that doesn't matter because Danilo wasn't getting the ball when Xander Clark took him down to Hampden. He wasn't winning. No. He wasn't getting the ball, and he wasn't scoring. It's not about whether you look at things. I can't remember what game it was last week in the Premier League in England where the goalkeeper dived. They're millimetres for the touchline, and the goalkeeper stops and dives and brings the guy down. The ball was going out for a corner or whatever. Like the guy's not scoring for it, but it's not about whether he's going to get the ball or not. It's about stopping the player, fouling them, etc., etc. Again, it's a long line, and the referee, from that point on, lost complete and utter control of the game. He didn't have a clue what they were doing. I think we had a penalty check in the first half for a handball. I think Kilmarnock had a penalty check in the second half for a handball. I think did they also check Neuenhoff's challenge? I think the VAR checked Neuenhoff when he got booked.
They checked Donnelly's. There was an altercation, I believe was what Laurie Dunsire called it. An altercation between is it Donnell or Donnelly and Oda, because he's quite clearly the guy put his hand in Oda's face while he's on the ground. There was much in it personally, but another one, just farcical how they're coming up with them nowadays.
Aye, and we've said about it. We're not going to keep going over about it. Full-time ref should have been first, then VAR, etc., etc. But my biggest gripe with all of it, always, is when it's just a guess. There's too much rides on all of this, just for them to guess should be happening. And again, that decision, the Oda decision, I don't know if it comes through on the highlight. That was about 3 minutes, right? That's about 3 minutes. And you think, right, for us to take 5 minutes, but you get to the right decision. I would rather that was the case, and then you come out and you explain, look, we had to look at this, was it offside first, right, cool, we've established whether he was or wasn't offside, right, so then everything that happens, gears they still after it, but get to the right decision. Don't just guess and then hope for the best. Like, we pay money to go watch that, and like I said, the confusion yesterday with the one announcement saying potential red card, check complete, and then 30 seconds later VAR coming back up around the stadium on the advertising boards and saying, oh, there's another VAR check for serious foul play. So they checked it twice. It doesn't make any sense.
Surely on the basis of the rules, you know how it's only clear and obvious decisions. If they're doing two checks, like, what's the issue with the VAR? Whoever's in the fucking wherever they are, office in Glasgow somewhere. What's I'm saying? Like, we've seen it recently where he's not taking the decision of what they said, but surely you can go to the ref. Would you want to have another look at that to confirm your decision or not?
But the weird thing about it, and Manda, we spoke about it in the community chat or whatever, it is that none of it involved the offside decision. Like, none of the VAR checks said anything about, if they'd sent the keeper off, and then VAR stepped in to say, he was offside. So do you want to think about rescinding the red or what? Like, the offside didn't even feature in any of the two VAR checks on the instant. It's mediocre, isn't it?
It is, and I'm not an expert on the rules by any manner of means, but I think that I'm probably just going to go and read the rule book over and over and over again so that I do become a fucking pearl of wisdom when it comes to this sort of stuff. Because, see, just now, it just feels, I don't want to say made up, but it's like, oh, right, well, we should probably do something about that. It seems very, very reactive. It seems as though there's not a fundamental understanding of exactly what the laws are and how they should be implemented. I mean, we've got hours of footage, well, probably hours is an exaggeration, but we've got loads of footage from the English Premier League where, VAR's been in place for ages and ages and ages, that our guys should be able to look at and go, right, okay, well, if this is what happens, this is the proper implementation of that rule or law, etc. But I don't think that happens. And ultimately, this all circles back to something that you've been saying for weeks, which is they need to be professional. If they were professional, they could go into a classroom, they could spend X amount of hours per week doing this stuff and become more on point and then become experts. Just now, it feels like amateur hour. It's like someone's sitting there with a rule book in one hand and the video monitor in the other going, right, what am I supposed to do here with that? Oh, yeah, okay, I think it's this. And this, again, circles back to the point you just made, which is it's guesswork.
Yep.
It's just amateur hour.
It is amateur hour. And maybe somebody on YouTube will be able to tell us now, because I think the game restarted with a Kilmarnock free kick. I think that's how the game restarted.
I'll tell you, that's how it started. It I watched it.
We could have sat with a situation where Kilmarnock could have had a red card and their goalkeeper sent off, but yet still have restart the game with that free kick. Like, no acknowledgement of the fact that it was a foul to Hearts or whatever. So the thing is, they're obviously sticking with the fact that they thought that it was offside, even though the ref never gave it as an offside. The ref was ignored. I watched it as it came up because the first thing I did, when the ball leaves, I think it's Kent's foot, it leaves his foot aside, and I seen the ref, like the linesman got to put his thing up and then put it down, and the ref signed it just saying like play on, and then Oda gets wiped out. Amateur hour. It's embarrassing.
To be fair, he was a mile offside. Like, I'll just clarify that.
But
and
ultimately,
if he did get sent off, I think no. Like, I'm just going to say, if he did get sent off, the decision for a Kilmarnock free kick would probably be right. But it is a sending off. That should have been the decision, and that's it.
No, because see the whole offside thing, right? For me, it doesn't matter about. And apologies, I know I was out the room. You might have discussed this already, but the matter 2 pence worth on it. The offside doesn't matter at all because of the intent that is behind that challenge, right? See if Oda had won the ball and then stuck it home, right? Then fine, you pull that back because it's offside. That's a material thing. The fact that you've went in leg high against somebody's neck, or however high up it was, probably not as high as that, but you know what I mean. Then it's like that doesn't matter. The intent was there. Neither player knew it was offside, right? So the intent was there for him to absolutely chop him down. So for that, it alone is serious foul play. It's a red card. Doesn't matter whether it's offside or not. So that point is almost immaterial.
Aye, and that's the thing that worries me the most about all it. It's the theatrics of it in the stadium that needs to get better. The communication is embarrassing. I don't even know. Look at the Liverpool situation with Tottenham. I think once one review is done and complete, that's it. Like, you can't revisit that decision. So if the first one is checking a potential card, and they say no, check complete, stick with the on-field decision, then why the hell are they then doing another review for serious foul play? Absolutely bananas and doesn't make any sense. And then, like you said as well, like the Boyce one, what needs to happen? That like does Oda's leg need to be chopped off? It doesn't matter whether he skiffed him by a ball here or poleaxed him. He's no won the ball and he's made contact with the player. It doesn't matter how safe it is or how much contact is there. That's a foul. Like
It's the intent,
and that's what's absolutely bananas. I think we're at a point where I'd seriously like Hearts to talk about it publicly. We're winning. Folk can't say, oh, it's just sour grapes. I think that we've spoke about this. We spoke about it last week, and I'm not going to batter the point again. But after Thursday night, watching Rangers absolutely struggle to beat part-time Limassol, whatever they're called, aerosol for fucking Lynx Africa. And I was laughing to myself, thinking this is run about the time where they'll get a penalty or a decision in Scotland to help them. And then that made me look. 9 European games Rangers have played this season. They've had 1 penalty. Yeah, they've had 6 penalties in the last 5 games in Scotland. It's absolutely it's bananas. So they only conceded a penalty again. 90 minutes today, where they've not conceded a penalty. I think you're into the 70s now for games, and yet there's Hearts. I can't remember the game. I was so angry at Hearts in the second half that I forgot why I was angry at the ref table. But I'm pretty sure there was a tug on Shankland at one point that even I spotted it for the other side, thinking that could have been a penalty. Just amateur hour, total and utter farce. And I would like Hearts. I actually like all the clubs. Scottish football, as we know, is so bitter and insular that I'd actually like everybody to just get round the table. Even if it's just fuck Celtic and Rangers, they can sit and talk to themselves all they want, but everybody else get round the table and say, this isn't working. It's not working. We don't have a clue what's happening. It changes every week. One rule, 1 week you didn't get the foul, the next week you did. Because I'm sure in the Motherwell game, the VAR upgraded a yellow card to a red, didn't it?
Oh, not sure.
Against Dundee?
Not sure.
Oh yeah, yesterday. Yeah, you're right. Aye. Sorry, I thought you were meaning Motherwell v Hearts, but yeah, no, there was a red.
I'm sure in the Motherwell Dundee game, I'm sure the ref gave a yellow and VAR intervened and upgraded it to a red.
Yeah.
And even then, you're talking about like fuck Rangers and Celtic. I would just say fuck Rangers at this point, because even Celtic know that they're getting the rub of the green, because I'm pretty sure it was Brendan Rodgers came out and said that ahead of their Champions League game. It was after, not the one they played midweek, but the one they played before that, where they've had X amount of players sent off as a result of the proper implementation of VAR. So it's almost a case of, right, I don't even think they understand the rules. That's the kind of thing that they do week in, week out, yet they never ever get penalised for it, and now it's happening on a proper European stage. They are getting penalised for it. They need to adapt their game accordingly. So, it just seems to be Rangers that seem to be impervious to it just now.
Well, no doubt, if we can get through Wednesday and Saturday and not have any more VAR controversy, I'll be absolutely shocked to my core. But let's talk about the actual game on Saturday. Unless there's anything on YouTube or anything that we haven't already talked about, or
Graham confirms what you said. There was also a pillow in Shankland. It could have been a penalty. Fraser Adair says it's a mess. The only thing within the SFA budget to solve this is to employ and train ex-players as referees, which isn't a bad point, to be honest, because the ones we've got in place at the moment clearly didn't understand the game. But
then
that's a kind of worms that, isn't it?
Aye,
absolutely.
If you imagine you appoint ex-player Kenny Miller, right? He's played for Hibs, Rangers and Celtic. As soon as a decision goes against any one of those teams, but he's not impartial, blah blah blah, that's just gonna be a shit show.
Kenny Miller's got a face of remember the California Raisins? He could be the lead singer of the California Raisins. Cunt looks like he sleeps in a dehydrator. He looks absolutely ridiculous, man. I hate that guy.
I do think it's not a bad idea having somebody in the VR room that is an ex-player, though. It's hard to work out, but
let's make it Mikey
Stewart
get that, for all decisions.
how do you get an ex-player in Scotland that isn't connected to Celtic and Rangers?
True. Unless you
How
go.
do you get and that's the problem. The problem that you have, right? And this is what happens. You are Liam Corbett, ex. I come through Rangers Youth Academy, but I never make it to the first team, and I play for Stenhousemuir, Wraith Rovers, Falkirk's my career highlights, and then I'm finished, right? I go in the VAR room and I make one mistake against Celtic, right?
Yeah, of
or
course,
I
yeah.
give a decision against Celtic. I'm getting bullets, I'm getting things in the press, they're hammering me, and it's all because, he's an ex-Hun, blah, blah. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. That's the problem. And outside refs are probably the safest option. You look at, like we said, look at Celtic and Rangers in Europe, where they don't have the luxury of a friendly mistake here or there. Yeah, Celtic are now the worst team in Champions League history or something for the last like
5 years or
winless
something.
run or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
15 games.
Exactly, and it's comical. It's funny to watch them. I think they've already had 3 red cards this season in the Champions League compared to like 3 or something in the Premier League, and they played 3 times the amount of games. I don't know how we fix it, but it needs to be better. Anyway, talking about being better, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0, our 4th away win of the season. I don't know if did one of us actually predicted it would be 1-0 to Hearts, didn't it, last week? Or was it 2-1 or something?
I went for a
Andrew,
draw.
you're pretty smug. I'm pretty sure you said Hearts would win.
That doesn't sound like something I'd have said, man.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I think
me and you went for draws, Corbett. So I know that.
I went
and
for a
then
draw. I went 1-1.
Okay. So Ando, it must be you.
Okay, well, fair enough. I'll take that. Must have been pissed.
So, Kev, was there anything in the game that stuck out to you that you liked, didn't like? Was there anything in the starting 11 that caught your eye?
I think the strangest thing from my point of view was the starting 11 and Grant getting a start. I'm still not 100% sure he's a starter for us, if I'm being truthfully honest. And then the other glaring and fairly obvious thing that we want to probably talk about is after 30 minutes, Boyce goes off, and we take the decision to put Sibbick in his place when you've got Tagawa sitting on the bench. Probably would have been a great opportunity for him to just take a position in the team playing in the number 10, or Lowry playing in the number 10, which is probably more commonly his place in the team. So I thought that was probably the only 2 glaring elements from my point of view.
Grant scored in Kilmarnock in the cup, didn't he? Actually played pretty well in the 2-1 victory there the last time. So I wasn't massively shocked to see Grant there. George Grant's a hard one. He's weird. There's a football player in there, 100%. Plastic pitch, snowy, rainy, minging, playing against hammer throwers. I don't know if it's harsh to give him a hard time for like. I thought he was very good in the opening 30 minutes. I think he played key parts in the goal. He played key parts in Boyce's sitter. He played well. And I think the decline in Hearts comes from exactly what you said. The decision to bring Sibbick on, strange. And then Kilmarnock just turned into Kilmarnock. And genuinely, we could have played Shankland up front and 10 defenders or 9 defenders, because the middle of the park was just, the ball was just launched over their heads every 5 seconds or whatever. So, yeah, I wasn't surprised to see Grant, but I agree that it's hard for Grant, because I do think there's a footballer in there, but I don't know if Saturdays are the games for a player like Grant. Tam?
As we all love a devil's advocate, I'm gonna do it. Do you not think it made sense? Do you think Oda was kind of struggling at right wing back? It made sense to have him further up the park, and then bring on a Sibbick, especially since we're 1-0 up.
There's only 30 or 60 minutes of the game.
I know, but I just
And we
didn't
were
feel.
on top.
I felt Oda kind of defensively was struggling, but that was the way I viewed it at the time.
But in that first half, I was going to say in that first 30 minutes, Odo was never really asked a question in that role. But when you take a decision to remove a guy, or injury, of course, but to take Boyce out of that position and not fill that particular position, which has been shown as being successful, that to me is that's where the mistake is made, because then we are putting them pressure, because as we've all said before, Civic looks at the moment like a rabbit stuck in his headlights, and from that point of view, you're bringing it, the home team coming onto us a hell of a lot more, which then left Oda open, and he did then look a little bit out of place.
And let's be honest and clear as well, is that when we set up, we play Cochrane as proper out and out left wing back. The right wing back position, Boyce, Grant, Oda, Shankland at points, all of them drift and fall into that position. They interchange, they move around, etc. Like the Boyce sitter comes from the fact that Oda was down the right hand side, worked it across to Boyce, etc. And then Oda, when he gets half, he's on the left hand side. So that they're switching all over the place. So I think it looked like we've won the game, right? So it's no cost us. So you say the decision worked. That's the way the game works. But I agree with Kev. I thought we were well in the ascendancy in the game. We'd played well. We were causing them problems, and they hadn't really caused us any issues that was making me worried. Like I said, there was the opportunity immediately after we scored, but other than that, it looked like we would score. And then I said, I don't know if it was the length of time. If the Benny injury, obviously Benny went down within like 3 minutes or whatever, and it looked like he was away type thing. It looked like he was potentially a muscular injury, and obviously he got back up and continued to play, and then obviously Boyce goes down. I don't know if it spooked the players. The players on the daft, right? Playing on plastic, they know that injuries are going to be a thing. No one likes playing on plastic. It's part of the reason why they get such a bad name. The length of time it took for Boyce to go off, the impact it had, I just felt like it sucked the life out of us a bit, and I think the decision to bring a defender on, it kind of set the sort of green light for Kilmarnock to be Kilmarnock, and from that point on, we just bombarded with long balls into the box and second balls and scrappy bits of play and stuff. So I thought we were pretty good in the opening 30 minutes. Boyce again, and I don't know, have you seen it? Have you seen the chance? An absolute sitter. I don't know. I can't make up my mind with Boyce. I think he always tries to be too fancy. I think he tried to put it in top bags, didn't he?
Aye, yeah. It's almost as if he's opened his foot like 2 hours on the clock face too much. It's like he's trying to put it in top bins, but he's just opened his foot far too much and got it all wrong. It's one of them. He should do better, and it's if you add up all the little bits and bobs of his game, and opportunities that he could have taken, be a completely different player we'd be looking at. But one of those. Again, I'm probably being a bit sentimental because we've got history. But it should do better in that scenario for me. A lot better.
It's weird. Pre-injury, we used to say that he was better when he had less time to think.
Yeah,
I think we used to say.
Correct.
And,
yeah. I don't care. I can't make my mind up if it's amplified how poor he is in front of goal, given how relentless Shankland is. You're looking at maybe 3 or 4 chances to fall to Boyce before he'll put one in the net, whereas Shankland just needs half a chance and he can bury the ball.
It's always going to be the way that you identify you've got somebody who is prolific in front of goal at this moment in time. As you rightly say, a half chance is got more. There's more chance of that going in than Boyce having a fairly easy one as it looked on Saturday. And even you think before his injury, he was a lot more prolific in front of goal. I know Ando had, I don't know what the amount of goals was in regards before you were hiring a bus, but in that he showed that he has the ability to put the ball in the back of the net. And from that point of view, it probably is now more glaringly obvious of how rusty or how bad he is in front of goal because you've got Shankland.
And I think you can't there's two sides to every coin. You can't take away from the fact that Shankland's burst of goals has coincided with the fact that Boyce had the run in the team. I think they work well together. I think they get a good connection. They're starting to interchange with each other, etc., which is good for the team. But we were looking at what St Johnstone. He's missed a sitter. Motherwell, we missed a sitter. He's missed a sitter yesterday, but it looks like he's probably not going to play for 6 to 8 weeks or something now. Anyway, if he's
68, not 60.
Well, it's Hearts, it'll be 68.
That's
It'll be 6 to 8
weeks.
Past the end of his contract.
I think the most positives for me, and I've slaughtered him. You know that I still hate him, but he's much improved. Frankie Kent is unbelievable. Like, if we'd had Frankie Kent last season, we'd be gone to fucking Frankfurt or whatever it is Aberdeen is, because we'd have finished for absolutely no bother at all. But Kev, the impact that he's having on Kairos, it's same as Stephen Kingsley as well. Like, Stephen Kingsley, left back playing right back or right centre half, whatever you want to call it. The back three look pretty decent just now, don't they?
Yeah, and one thing, you see him taking a lot more command of that back three. I think maybe for the first 6 weeks of the season, he was maybe a little bit finding his feet, understanding how each of the, let's class it, the back four play. But now that he has got up to speed with the Scottish game, because it is a totally different game to what he's been used to at Peterborough, you can see the special elements of his game, which is taking control. He must have probably won every header bar one, I think. Yeah. And for the majority of his distribution as well, is exactly what you want it to be. He'll find the man. He'll play it into their feet. As you rightly said, there was the chance for Shankland. It's his for Oda, should I say? It's it's his pass that goes through, and it's the kind of pass that we've been missing for a long time. So a lot of that comes down to how Frankie Kent actually plays the game and how he actually reads the game, which is fantastic to see.
And I think kudos to Kairos as well. Like I said, I think he's been much improved. Don't get me wrong, he's still got. There's bits of him that remind me of Izal so much. Where he does 9 things brilliant, but the 10 thing that he does wrong is catastrophic almost. There was a couple of times on Saturday where I was like, he's doing well like that. The Vassell or whoever it is up front, like, he's a handful. You know, he's physicals backing into them. It's not Rousey's it's not his best attribute is having to deal with stuff in there or physicality, and he did well. He was doing really well, and then I watch him burst 30 yards out of position to try and win the ball and misses contact, and they play it and pop it around him, and you know they're in behind, and you think that you need to get rid of that, because Kent doesn't do that. Or if Kent does do that, he'll wipe the guy out. I think in the first half, Kent had done a situation like that, and he just wiped the guy out. Like, he just, well, I've came in, I've no got it, so fuck you, you're getting halved. Which is exactly what a centre half needs today. So I think between Clark, although I'm still not convinced, he doesn't fill me with confidence. But again, another clean sheet, and like Tam highlighted earlier, the defensive side of the game is something that we drastically and dramatically needed to improve on against last season. One of the things, Ando, was what was driving me insane in the second half was Stephen Kingsley was driving forward acres of space, and literally Toby Sibbick is just standing there. Like, every single time Kingsley would burst forward, give the ball to Sibbick, and Sibbick would somehow manage to work the ball back to Clark, and I'd be like, the fuck are we doing? What are you at, Joe, then? It was driving me insane yesterday.
This is one of these things, right? See, whenever I see things like that happen, I always, I don't know why, and if you're a pollution that's in my head that I probably can't get rid of, then when you've talked about, obviously, I'm going to mention his name, or I don't know if I should, or anyway, your mate, your best mate.
Right.
Everything that happens on a football field is down to orders. right? So he's not doing that because he thinks it's the best thing for him to do, and that's it. Well, it might be. But then ultimately, it always comes down to, in the back of his head, he's been told that in this scenario, this is what I need to do with the ball. So I don't know if that's an element of Toby Civic just being Toby Civic and that's what he thinks is the best scenario, or is it a case of he's been told to do that by the entourage and that's why he's reacting that way. I guess we'll never know, but I don't know. Whenever you mention things like that, that always sort of pricks up at the back of my head, which is,
There was a moment.
Who's actually at fault there?
There was a moment yesterday where you say I like to go against the grain, and it made me laugh because one, I had my little girl with me, and I think I don't know if she started greeting or she looked like she was going to greet because we had one of the 40 bursts down the right hand side. Kingsley gaining yards, doing well, gave it to Civic. I think Civic tried to pass the ball back to Kent, who was 40 yards back the other way. And I think Kilmarnock cut it out and we managed to win a throw in. And it was kind of like light applause as if to be like, oh, we're pretty happy with that. And I nearly fucking jumped onto the pitch. I'm like, fucking move! What? Standing. That was just absolute apoplectic rage that everybody was just standing still, staring at each other. And I was like, what are we doing, man? Professional football players, and they're just stood static like that. What do you do? And it was driving me insane because we're
Worst
losing.
thing about that. Sorry.
No,
the worst thing about that is that's how we got our goal. Was for the other side though. Was Reynolds driving forward, passed it into a moving player, and that's exactly how the goal came. So,
honestly, I know Scotty talks about it all the time since Ando's we've mentioned it there, but like you ask, we got 40 defenders in the Premier League. Sat them down right now and says, go describe what you absolutely hate. Then they will tell you it's running, facing their own goal, having to defend. They hate it. They want long balls punted forward so they can get a run, see the ball in there, run and header it. That's what they want. They don't want to be turned. They don't want to have to run back, facing, because there's loads of things they've got to do. One, they've got to, where are they on the pitch? They have to try and stay in line with the people that are next to them. So they're always constantly having to look to see where are the players near me. They also have to be like, how close we are to the box? Where's the goalkeeper? Are we playing him off onside? Should I go? What if someone runs in behind? There 100 things go through their head. That's why get the ball, knock it by them, and run them. Just run them. If they win them the ball, they're still winning the ball facing their goalkeeper. They have to make a decision. Did they knock it out for a throw-in? Like the old school days, just put it in row Z, then face up, deal with a throw-in. How many times have I said that last year as well with Hearts? And this necessity to try and do something fancy. Just put the ball out, reset, regroup, hang with. But that's what you do. Turn a defender and make them defend. Even if they win the ball off you, they still have to do something like that. They have to get to their goalkeeper, put it out for a goal kick, or they've got to turn on the ball and face you, and then you're thinking, right, well, it's 1v1, it's me v you, take it by me, or launch it up the park, and then you can get a block in, you can do whatever. It's no difficult. It genuinely isn't difficult. And it bugs me that we don't do it. Toby Civic's the fastest football player at Hearts. And he used to be a sprinter before he became a football player. We've seen him at Easter Road.
Exactly.
Put the ball in front of him and make him run. He's rapid. So why no? Why was he not doing it? Why was he not taking his man on? It was very frustrating. Very frustrating. But I will caveat all of that by saying I was impressed by how Hearts dealt with Kilmarnock, Tam. You know, we said earlier that the amount of times I tear my hair out because we seem so shocked that a team that we know exactly what they were going to do did exactly what we thought they were going to do. But we dealt with Kilmarnock pretty comfortably on Saturday. Yeah,
it's one of those ones that's like you mentioned them both, but Kent Rills, they both had probably man of the match performances. Berry was good too, but everyone had a plan and we stuck to it in terms of trying to nullify them, and it was good. Can't say anything more. We came away with 3 points, and how often do we win at Rugby Park realistically?
That's true. Anything else that happened in the game that was worth talking about? Shankland, is he getting that goal now?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That is such a harsh rule, by the way. I know it's the rule, but fuck, that should be a goal for this. That should be a goal for the striker.
It was going in though.
caused it.
So
to
what
go
if
in.
he shot and it hit the corner flag? You're saying, "Aye, fine, we'll give him a goal." They'd be
But I
daft.
thought again, this is where there's been so many rule
Grant would have
changes.
scored though if he'd left it, but that's.
There used to be mad rules like that, like they'd give the benefit to the attacker. If Shanklin doesn't shoot, then Hearts the goalkeeper doesn't make a mistake, and etc. etc.
To be fair, it evens out last week's when it was there his goal, but he's got it anyway. So
It's pretty cut and dried now, just for the removal of all doubt, that if the shot is going to be on target anyway, then it's if the shot's on target and it's deflected by somebody else, doesn't really matter. But if the shot was off target and it's deflected in and becomes a goal, then at that point it becomes an own goal. Like so.
Well, then Shanklin shouldn't have had the goal last week then, because Boyce's shot was probably on target.
Right.
Was it though?
You can discuss. You
was it? It was
discuss
taken off.
Rangers. Use their preview for Rangers. I'm going to the toilet.
Christ almighty. What's happened to Corbett?
He started
Corbett
at me.
became the new
I think
Tam.
he's been taking speed or something like that. I don't know what's going on.
We might already have our show name.
Corbett's
has
away for a
turned into
piss.
Tam.
Right.
Cool.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Right, who starts right wing back? That's probably easy.
Oh, Tam. Let's no be all fucking nuanced about it. Just tell me who's gonna win.
We're going as easy as that.
Yep.
I don't want it because
No, we'll do the broad brush, right? So who's going to win? Then by the time Corbett comes back and he wants to do his forensic analysis, then you can renege on your prediction after he's set you right, and you can go, we're going to get beat 4-0, right? So what's going to happen?
we're going to get beat 4-0.
Well, fair enough then.
That was easy.
Kev, what's happening?
I think given the fact that we've already said it, defensively we're looking a lot stronger. I wouldn't be surprised to see Forrest start on Wednesday night in that wing back position that he can't fill, but they'll play him there. I mean, if you want to say head and heart, of course, heart says that we will we'll sneak it 2-1, but the head says, in all honesty, I think maybe a draw. I think that's probably the best we can get out of Wednesday night's game. Of course, I'll look down to that though. There'll be no Boyce. We already know. There'll be no Lowry, of course, neither. From that point of view of Devlin, I would expect not to be even in the starting lineup or on the bench because he was hobbling a bit worse than me. So, for that point of view, I would go as far to say that you're maybe going to see Vargas get back. I believe he'd rolled his ankle or something, according to Naismith. So you might be seeing Vargas, but who plays that number 10 role? That's an interesting one, if you ask me. That's because that's.
Will play.
Right, so.
But that's the next question. Then does Tagawa play up front and Shanklin plays a little bit deeper, or does Tagawa play in that deeper role for Shanklin to stay in his number 9 main sort of?
Role. He'll play in a deeper role. I think I would be shocked if it's anything other than that. Vargas will maybe play on the other side, like Oda, Tagawa, Vargas, and then Shankland up top or something potentially. I don't see, but I actually don't see Vargas coming back. I think he'll play Tagawa and Oda on Wednesday. But we can't move Shankland. We talked about it before. Shankland has scored in his last 2 games with Rangers. I think you've got to play him in his position, and just try and get the ball to him. Again, if you were to pick the 4 defenders for Rangers and ask, it's going to be Tavernier right back, Barisic left back, and it'll be Davies and Suter probably. None of them like defending the ball over the top. None of them like defending, chasing back towards their own goal. So you're going to have to try and get down the sides of them as much as possible. Tav especially. Barisic doesn't really attack as much anymore, but Tav is a big issue down that side. So be interesting to see what we do. Actually, there was, because you said it there, about 2 things I wanted to say about Kilmarnock was, 1, Cammy Devlin, Last Christmas. That's a banger. That's a good tune. I'm looking forward to singing that on Wednesday. And number 2, again, Stephen A. Smith not acknowledging the fans. I spent £100 to go to Kilmarnock on Saturday. I'm sorry, but I expect you to come over and fucking kiss my arse and tell me I'm the greatest guy ever for
was it not
for
even
travelling.
a clap?
It claps for the touchline, shakes the ref's hands, etc., and then walks down the tunnel.
I thought you meant like interview at first, but the decent thing to do is I walk.
So I've seen the players do it.
Yeah, all the players can.
Yeah, exactly. Right, and that is just a sign of decent professionals. I don't know if someone needs to just fucking take him up against a wall and give his head a fucking shake, which is, like, I know you're a junior manager, you're fairly immature at all this sort of shit, but this is how you deal with yourself in these scenarios. Like, it's Billy basic stuff.
It was chucking it down with snow. It was freezing. Trains were cancelled. Public transport was cancelled. It's no, I jump in 10 minutes up the road for folk. That's a decent trip to go to. 1,500 Hearts fans there. You come over and you acknowledge them. You're no too big to do it. I get it. You might be still arsey because there's fans out there that want you gone, etc. It doesn't matter. We pay your wages. You come over. You take the rough with the smooth. You take the praise with the bad stuff. That's how football is. But it's starting to wind me up now.
Oh, me too.
So,
and I've not even made these trips, but it's what, to your point, right? And I didn't want to play that card and say we pay your fucking wages, but ultimately you're there by your good grace. You know what? If I want you to dance to my tune, you'll do it. That should be you should at least be doing that. Even if it's just a wee sort of run up, give it a clap from somewhere between the halfway line and the penalty box. That's fine. Even an acknowledgement, not just a for the halfway line. Right, well done. Right, see you later. I'm away. That's not good enough.
One of the things I'd actually quite like Hearts today, and I know it's probably not going to happen, but away ticket pricing in Scotland is a joke. It is an absolute joke. You're paying 35 quid, 38 quid, 32 quid. I think we drove through, stopped at Art Hill. It was a tenner in the services to get juice and crisps or whatever for the journey. Then you're a tenner in the stadium to get a juice and pie or whatever. And then dinner on the way home. It's expensive. It is a joke. And Hearts are bad for it too.
I think we're one of the worst for it, to be honest.
We are the worst. One of the worst for our ticket pricing. We need to get on the front foot with that and start proper pricing away games. Right, back to Wednesday. I think we've got one win in our last 19 games versus the Old Firm. It is our current worst run in our history versus the Old Firm. I think the last time we beat them was John Souttar last minute versus Ange Postecoglou's Celtic. Right. I believe last year's 2-2 draw in Alan McGregor's testimonial was the last time we took points off them.
And we didn't even record that because it's not a competitive game.
Well, it was a competitive game, but it was that stupid. The season was already done when Shanklin scored, made it 1-0.
When you said testimonial there, I was thinking, fuck, is it a game?
It was. Everyone just got clapped off the pitch as they went.
Aye, but it was like Alan McGregor and Morelos and Scotty's last game for Rangers or whatever. So it was
handed him a plaque at the end.
Aye, it was a testimonial for them, like so. And we still managed to Toby Sibic it. Remember, he tried to header it back to the goalkeeper and fucked it. But aye, so massive. Like I said, that it's been weird because I don't know who said it in the comments or whatever, but it's been a bit of a disaster season. But yet we're third and stuff. But Wednesday goes a big way to, if we want us to believe and buy into that things are changing, they're going in the right direction. Because let's be honest, right, we've beaten Livingston, Motherwell, St Johnstone, and Kilmarnock. All tough teams or thingies, but let's be honest, they're the shittest teams in the league. Motherwell are in horrible form. Livingston are rooted to the bottom of the league. I think we beat Ross County too, who are like second bottom or whatever. We got to take points off the Old Firm. Last year, we were the only side in the top six not to beat the Old Firm. Aberdeen, Hibs and St Mirren all beat Celtic and Rangers last season, we never. Hibs, St Mirren. No, St Mirren got a point. Can't remember. I think like Hibs have already beat them.
Got a point
Aberdeen.
against Celtic.
Aye. Aberdeen beat them. I mean, like Motherwell have picked up points against them. Kilmarnock have beat them. We need to show up and perform. We need a result on Wednesday.
Sorry, Corbett. The way you put it as well, you were saying about 6-pointers playing the teams around us, but this should be a 6-pointer on the basis that we would expect the teams around us to get beat off Rangers.
Yep, 100%.
So,
this is points that we wouldn't expect to get. Hibs are a point closer to us because they picked up a point I never expected them to get versus Celtic. Aberdeen are 4 points closer to us than they probably should be because they beat Rangers and got a draw with Rangers. We need a result on Wednesday, Kev. I don't think it's acceptable just to write the home games off versus Rangers, especially when they don't look in great shape.
No. And we go back to, times gone by. We always used to give Celtic and Rangers a real good game at Tynecastle. From Nielsen's first time round, I think was it his last game, did we win 2-1? Cathrow's game, we beat them 4-1. And I know that Rangers were a different side and a different animal and beast at that time, as were Celtic, of course. But you stood up, you fought tooth and nail to make sure that you did everything you could for not only for the team but also for the fans that you just called it out the other now have spent big money week in, week out, month in, month out, supporting the team. So we've not. I don't believe we've really shown any of Celtic or Rangers a proper Hearts performance in as many years, probably going back to 2017, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and you look at Daniel Stendhal get two wins versus Steven Gerrard's Rangers.
Yep.
Craig Levein obviously ended the Invincibles run 4-0, etc. We need to lay a glove on them. Now listen, Celtic and Rangers have got multi-million-pound squads compared to what we have. I think Rangers turned over £82 million last year. Whatever, it's mad, right? They're going to play players that they've bought for 6 million, 3 million, 5 million. If Rangers show up and click into gear and play the way they can and to their potential, then Rangers will win, right? And that's just the way that football goes. That's what happens. But what we don't want to do is for us to shoot ourselves in the foot, be meek, don't press them, don't be aggressive, don't get the fans behind, don't give them a game. They've needed a 90th minute penalty to get a draw at Aberdeen. They've drawn 1-1 with the part-time team for Cyprus or wherever they're for on Thursday. And they've been laboured today at home against St Mirren. Like you said, Kev, we just got to go and lay a glove on them. We can't just get rolled over and get our belly tickled because this is the worst run that we've had against Celtic and Rangers. I think Celtic and Rangers have scored 3 goals in almost every visit to Tynecastle in their last however many. I think Celtic won 2-0 when they clinched the title. I think that was like the worst result that they've had. I think Celtic have popped us 3-0 in the cup, 4-1 last time, 4-3. Rangers have won 4-0, 3-0. It's embarrassing.
How many of the games have they scored their first goal within the first 15 minutes? So?
First 15 minutes, you're 1-0 down, game's over. This Hearts side isn't capable of any Roy of the Rovers type stuff. We've shown that time and time again. That everything will just drain. The atmosphere will be shite. The crowd will be shite on Wednesday as well, which is starting to really bug me. But again, it's the chicken and the egg situation in it. We're 19 games for a win versus the Old Firm. We're 1-0 down after 15 minutes in every game that we've played against them in the past 2 years. Can you expect 18,000 full house rocking? Probably not, because everybody kind of already knows what will happen. We won't show up. We'll probably get battered. It's a tough one, but I genuinely, this is a message to Hearts. If you want me to believe that we've turned the corner and buy into all this stuff and that yous are actual heading in the right direction, then put a performance on Wednesday. Not a result. I don't care whether we win, lose, or draw. I just want a performance. I want to be in the game. I want to know that Rangers were in the game as well. So let's do our predictions. It's time to get the big boy pants on. Kev, start with you. What is your prediction for Hearts versus Rangers on Wednesday?
So I said there just now, I mean, yeah, you know, head and heart and everything else, but I think in all honesty, I think the best we could probably go for is a 1-1 draw.
Tam?
I actually agree. Well,
Ando?
Well, Tam and Kev are both wrong because I'm going on Wednesday, so it'll be a defeat.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. But
What's
joking
the
aside, I've got the last two of these right. We'll win by a goal.
Nice. We go 1-0 then.
1-0 or 2-1.
What did you say, Kev? You said head
1-1.
and heart. I'll go
Yep.
heart and hand. And I'll say 3-0 to Rangers.
that's one of their podcasts, isn't it? Actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done, Tam. Well done for connecting the dots. There you go. That's definitely going to be a Fred on Kickback. Bigoted podcast host sings heart and hand live on YouTube. Get him binned.
Last week you admitted to go to Ibrox multiple times as well. That everyone's connecting the dots like they're fine.
Come on, I'm as staunch as they come. I'm just going to do reverse psychology. I think Hearts will get absolutely pumped. I'm not buying into this that we've turned the corner just yet. So prove me wrong, please, Hearts. That would be fine.
Good, because I'm doing exactly the same thing. Like, and I've not found the right opportunity to speak about it. But see Naismith in recent weeks when he keeps talking about if we fix the wee bits and bobs, then everything will come good in the end. Well, right, it's shite for me. Fix the big things like creativity, penetrating runs in behind the defence, and attacking play in the final third. Fix the fucking big things, and then the results will come. So I've not seen enough in recent weeks, despite us winning 4 league games on the bounce, to see anything different. I'm going to rephrase: we're going to get beat by a goal.
Can I also just add something else? It's also live on TV, so we are fucked. Actually, we're all shite when the cameras are there.
Oh, it's on Sky.
It's on Sky.
Yeah.
Brilliant, superb. Okay. Anything on YouTube before we wrap things up, or we go with the preview for Aberdeen?
Aye, suppose we should.
Go on, right. Go on, Kev. What's your prediction for Aberdeen versus Hearts?
I mean, Aberdeen at the moment seem to be a bit Jekyll and Hyde. Of course, they'll have no European football this week, so no travelling or anything like that. Hibs won 2-0 against them today. So, of course, because of that, we'll probably get beat 2-0 up in Pittodrie.
Good luck. Tam?
We're going to break the hoodoo. We're going to win 1-0 in Aberdeen.
Ando?
I'll have whatever Tam's been smoking. Aberdeen, third bottom of the league, absolute shite run of form. They'll turn it around against us and win comfortably 2-0.
Yep. I said heart and hand in the last one. I'll say stand free on this one. 3-0 Aberdeen.
Ultras Aberdeen.
Yes.
Ultras Aberdeen. Right, I'm sticking with the doom and gloom, and hopefully it comes back and bites me in the arse. 2 3-0 defeats back to back to being furious next Sunday.
Pray for Corbett's
Anything on YouTube?
bedsheets in advance.
Aye, pray for the bed. Pray for the bed sheets.
Not particularly. It's just been a bit quiet tonight, actually, to be honest. So, DW Jams just said Simpson's disaster, and he's had enough chances, time to punt him in January, which I don't know. I think he's still got a place, personally, but aye. And Michael,
Are you sure it's been quiet, Tam, or are you just doing your usual of not paying attention to the fucking
he's not been
thread?
paying
no,
attention,
that's the only comment since the refs after that. And then, there's one more, but he's agreeing with Ando, and I don't know what he's agreeing about.
Well, it's absolutely invalid then if he's agreeing with me.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, doc. Right, boys. Ando, I'll see you on Wednesday. And hopefully I'll see everybody else next Sunday. We talk about 2 Hearts victories and everything's still rosy in the
I
garden.
only seen Ando on Wednesday. You just don't want to talk to me, Kev. Like,
Well,
I've not seen
doesn't like
Corbett
talking
face
to
to
me
face in a
football.
long time. But I'm
I
due
don't
to-
talk to. I can't see Kev at the football because we're not allowed to, as we always lose.
fair.
And you sit in a different stand, then I probably won't see you before. the game.
Aye,
But
it's
if I
it's
do,
been a
it'll
while
be
since I
lovely
had
to
a
see you,
Corbett
Tommy.
cuddle,
Nah,
so
well, I can-
I'm
Yeah,
going round to see
exactly.
him.
Exactly. Cool. Right. Thanks to everybody that's thinged on YouTube, but as always, we appreciate it. If you want to get involved and listen to our shite daily, you can go on to X or Twitter or whatever it's called these days. There's a link to the community chat that we have on WhatsApp, and we'll discuss it. Some stuff coming in the future. We've got tops over my shoulder, a little teaser as to potential some new merch stuff heading your way. Keep an eye out for it, and we'll keep you posted once we have anything. Bye. As always, boys, thank you, and I'll see you all next week.
Catch you later.
Cheers.
See you later.
Gargoyles.